Hello, and welcome back to this channel. Today's gonna be a super fun video because today there's a lot happening, and actually today I was checking out the fish in the fish tank, and I really feel like the fish are actually starting to grow, which is so exciting because they are feeder fish. And after talking to the fish store, it didn't really sound like they were gonna last a super long time, so I will be talking a lot more about that later in today's video. But first, we're gonna go ahead and start with the shelves. So before we do start today's informational plant tour, please subscribe, hit the bell notification on all so you do not miss our video, and please like this video. Let's go and start today's video. Alright, just going straight over, I would like to start with the oregano, but we start with that every single time, so let's change it up and start over here. Now, if you guys saw our video we posted this morning, we were really talking about, could aquaponics be the future of farming? And I was also talking about what I've noticed about working with a lot of other farmers and greenhouse owners. People usually choose the plants they have the most to work with. For an example, when I was growing up, every single year my family would always grow peas and tomatoes and a lot of other stuff, but every single year, one of my highlight plants, my most prized, loved plants is peas and tomatoes. So over the last year, I've done a lot of work with tomatoes and peas to find the best ways they can be grown. And to be honest, they can be grown so many ways, which is so cool. That's what I find so fascinating about these pea plants. And they do put up a massive, absolutely incredible root structure, so that's also so cool to check out once the plant is fully grown. So, just talking about the ways I'm growing this. First way, I'm just growing it the usual spread out way where I think there is about 8 seeds in each one. The reason why I said that kind of slowly was because some of them didn't have stuff sprout. So these first 2 pots have 7 in it. Yeah, 7 right there, 7 right there. That one's a lot harder to see because all of them are really just crammed together. That one has 8, and that one has 8. So I'm growing it that way, the more spread out version. I'm growing these ones the same, but these are more just bunched up. I ended up germinating it in this type of a pot and just really did a thick layer of peas at the top. Let those grow, let the roots really fill up in there. And then I transplanted it in this big of a pot, and I wrapped it around with those growing nets, those growing fences, so they could just have something to wrap against with their vine studding. And so that's what I call a bunched up system. There is a more correct term for it, but I'm just going to call it a bunched up system because once you actually think about it, that's what it is. I'm also growing peas in my aquaponics system, and this one is one of my favorites because I can pull the plant out. Now obviously the plant is starting to wrap against stuff, so I can't take it all off, but just check out that root structure. Yeah, check that out. That is insane. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that back in, so I'm going to let it sit right there, and then I'll see you guys in a second once I fix that. It is so fun to see what these vines wrap against, because that vine I was just pulling on has wrapped against the cord. So that is so funny. You can see one about to start wrapping against the grow light, so that would be very fun to check out once that starts happening. We're talking about these a lot more. I do feel like these will start blooming very soon. I really hope. I do have a lot of methods of how to kind of just get those flowers good. I use more of just a brush and then tap it lightly on each flower and just go through it, and just it kind of takes the spot of the bees and bugs that usually land on the flowers and just go from flower to flower. So it's worked great for me, and it actually worked very well with the strawberries I ended up working with quite some time ago. Then tomatoes. I'm growing these 3 different ways too. I'm growing it the traditional type of soil way. They're growing amazing this way. So excited about that. I'm growing them this hydroponically way. There's not a filter in this, so it is a little bit different with that, but these are doing really good, and especially the last few days they've been just skyrocketing in growth. I'm also growing them in my hydroponic system, but these both went in at the same time. This is 1, and that's 2. Let me know if you guys see a difference, because the hydroponic ones do not look good. And then going over to the flowers. There is a lot to talk about the flowers, because number one, I'm planning to get rid of the flowers very, very soon. I've been actually saying that the last month, but I've really never done it. So maybe this weekend, maybe next weekend. Who knows? It will happen eventually. I'm stalling a little bit to see if flowers start blooming, and it looks like they are. I've had a little bit of some problems with flowers, like going this far into blooming, and then they end up like shriveling up, which is really, really bad. I want to say the Cosmos have looked like they were going to be blooming for a while. Just check that out. And they've never really gone much farther than that, and they've been showing that much progress for the last 2 weeks. Going down the shelf, we have bunching onions. These bunching onions are starting to do great. I said on my video they would take about 3 days to a week before you would actually start to notice like growth, progress, all of that fun stuff. And today pretty much hits the 8-day mark, I think, now that I actually think about it. Yeah. And they're starting to do really good. The rosemary, they don't look great, but they were overwatered quite a bit, and I think I'm just going to let them dry out a little bit. That looks pretty good. All of them do look amazing. And going down to the strawberries, these, same thing. They've been watered a little bit too much, so I'm going to barely water them very lightly throughout the next few weeks and see if they can recover. There are some bugs living in the soil, so that's not great. You can actually see one kind of crawling throughout that soil, one right there. Maybe 0.5 might show it like right there. So definitely some stuff happening there, but we do have flycatchers, so that seems to make a pretty big difference. Now I'm going to go up here, and then I'll go back down to that thing I just showed. I'm growing 3 different things up here. I'm growing lemongrass, peppermint, and then the tomatoes. I really love all of these plants because, number one, I've barely grown pretty much all of them these ways. Tomatoes, ton of action growing it this way, but I've never grown it hydroponically. So that is a very, very fun experience I'm excited to learn more about. Lemongrass. Lemongrass, I've never grown it. I've never actually really tried it before, so it'll be very fun to work with that. Peppermint, I've grown it a little bit, but I don't have much, I haven't gotten to grow it much. I've grown it really successfully a little bit in my hydroponic system a few months ago, and then it ended up being overtaken by algae significantly, and didn't make it far after that. So, going down to the shelf I was just talking about, we are growing 6 different things up here, or right here. We have 3 different flowers, and then we have 3 different vegetables. Flowers, we are growing cosmos, daisies, and poppy seeds. I've grown all of these in the greenhouse before. Not fully to the point where they bloomed, but I've germinated it in the room, and I've let them grow, and then they were moved outside for spring. Same with cucumbers. Well, not really. I've actually just grown it outside. I tried to germinate them in the room before, and haven't had much luck. But I do feel like this will be a great way. Never grown broccoli before, never grown celery before. So it'll be very, very fun to see these grow. I'm also using a germination tray to help them stay at a constant temperature and thrive in that type of a climate. So these will need a little bit more water, so I'll go ahead and water them after I'm done with today's video. But going over here, this is going to be the last shelf we'll be talking about, and then we'll head over to the aquaponics. We are growing dill, mustard, and oregano. All of these are doing so incredible. The mustard doing very, very good. Dill, it's still waiting, definitely. Oregano definitely doing phenomenal. Going down to this shelf, the cilantro has finally started today, which is so incredible. Basil, and then parsley, all of these are doing very, very good, so I'm very, very excited about that. And then ending this section off with the strawberries we're germinating. These are doing really, really good too. It's kind of cool to see like everything from here down came from actual strawberries, and those right here came from True Leaf Market, and definitely True Leaf Market has some expensive strawberry seeds. Doesn't come with much. I think it's like $8 for like 10 seeds, which is very pricey, but at the end, I do feel like it's pretty good, and they will send off runners later on, so that is amazing. Now, talking about the aquaponics system, everything over here is significant. The basil is doing phenomenal. All of these are doing pretty good. Personally, I think they're doing pretty good. Roots look alright, not amazing, not like a 5-star type of thing, but they're doing okay. The bunching onions look pretty good, so that's amazing. And then, yeah, so all of these are doing good. I will start turning the basil into some seasoning very soon, so I'm excited about that. We're growing buttercrunch, oak leaf, red ruby, grand lettuce, and bunching onions on that shelf. All of these are doing great. No signs of like just root damage or all of that fun stuff. Then on this shelf, we're growing tango lettuce, parsley, and sugar peas. Sugar peas overtaking everything. It's so cool to see those grow. Parsley, I actually just harvested a lot, but I've been waiting for the parsley to grow a little bit more in that system, so very, very soon I'll go ahead and move it over. And then the tango lettuce, it'll be very interesting to see how that is. Now, talking about the fish really quick, I really feel like lately the fish have started to grow pretty significantly. So just like, this isn't a great view, but kind of checking out this side of the fish tank. Don't really want to stress them out too significantly, but just checking out, like, here comes one. It's more of, maybe you can see it back there swimming. That one is kind of, I like to call it the big boy of the fish tank. It is the biggest one in the fish tank. It's grown quite a lot. We got that more of a darker gray colored one right there, really cool. And yeah, so those are very, very cool. I think I was actually talking to a very nice lady at Petco, and she was actually recommending, so some snails like lay eggs, some don't. The ones I have in the fish tank currently don't. So I'm considering maybe getting one that does. Now the problem is, once it does start to hatch, like, check out that fish. That is amazing. But back to that, once they do start to hatch, I'm gonna have a fish tank completely full of snails that do lay eggs. So not the best, but I really do feel like once they do start, they were saying goldfish pretty much eat whatever. I've heard a lot of people say that. And they were pretty much saying by the time the eggs would really hatch, they would have all been eaten by the goldfish. I'm hoping to possibly get a few more goldfish. Not a ton, not like 15 or 20. I think maybe 5 bigger ones. I don't really want to get little ones. I want to get more, something like that, but a little bit bigger. Where'd that one big fish go? I'm like that one big, is that it? That might be it. Like that bigger fish with like that brown on the top, but like kind of like the bigger fish, and comparing it like both of those fish right there. I want something in the middle of that, something that, yeah, that is a great angle. Check out that beauty right there. Wow. Yeah, that fish looks awesome. Well, I am very, very excited to start working with that. I do want to consider going with shrimp in here too. Now, shrimp do need more hiding spaces, more hiding spots to thrive a lot better, so I would definitely be looking into that factor. But so far, the water quality has significantly stayed the same. Throughout the last few days, I've noticed nothing going really bad. No algae forming. I'm having no pH level spikes. So that is very, very good. And yeah, so both systems are doing great. Well, all 3 of these giant systems are doing great, but hydroponics definitely needs some work. And I do really want to do a lot of work with the aquaponics very, very soon. So if you guys have anything you recommend me maybe working with, please comment that down. I'd really love to hear what you guys think would be one of the best options. And yeah, so this is gonna be the end of the video. So if you guys like these types of videos, please subscribe, hit the bell notification on all so you do not miss another video. Please like this video. If you do like these types of videos, well, you're in luck because we post one of these types of informational and planet tours talking about different stuff every single day. So if you guys want to check that video out, we post them every single day at the same time, which is going to be 2 p.m. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow when we post next. So thank you all for watching today's video and supporting the channel, and I'll see you guys when we post next. Peace.